Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Glad to have you back. Welcome to another installment of Life with Grit. My name is Nik.
My name is Jerit, and today we are going to be talking about the 75 Hard program. If you have listened to the previous podcast, we referred to this multiple times, but we did not elaborate on it. So we are going to get right into it. Nick's going to take us off with that. So Nick, you want to tell me what 75 Hard is, what it entails, what kind of program it is, rules? Get into it.
75 Hard is a mental toughness program. It's not a challenge or internet sensation. It's a mental toughness program. It's not for physical appearance. It's for your mental sharpness. There's a couple rules that we'll get started here with. The first rule is you have to have 2 workouts a day. One has to be indoors and one has to be outdoors, and they both have to be for 45 minutes apiece. The second rule is to take 1 progress picture each day. The third rule is to read 10 pages of a non-fictional book. So this is a self-growth book. The fourth rule is to drink 1 gallon of water a day. The fifth rule, follow a diet. The sixth rule, no cheat meals or alcohol. So you have to follow these rules for 75 days straight, no exceptions. Keep in mind, if you guys veer off these rules or you miss a task, you will have to start over on day 1. So that is pretty much the ins and outs of 75 Hard. Like I said, this is a mental toughness program. This sharpens your mindset, and you do these day in and day out, and I promise you, your life will change for the better. So that's 75 Hard. We'll turn it back over to Jerit here.
So I'm going to elaborate on a few of those a little bit more. So like Nick said, it truly does change your life. I mentioned the last podcast that I was in a dark spot in life, and I contacted him. He told me about this program, and he told me it changed his life. And I'm not going to lie, I started it honestly for the physical aspect because I thought that would make me happier. And when he said it changed his life, I honestly kind of thought he was full of it a little bit. The dude was not wrong. It completely changed my life. My mindset is different. I've been told my body language has been different after completing it, just the way I carry myself. And I think it's important to note that that is not arrogance or anything. It's confidence. There is a difference there. Yes, there is a fine line, but I just have a lot more confidence in who I am as a person. And it's because when you complete these, what seem like simple tasks for 75 days in a row, you honestly feel like you can do anything. So again, I'm going to elaborate on them a little bit. So to iterate upon the task that Nick was talking about, I'm going to start with the workouts. So specifically, he mentioned an outdoor workout. You have to do it outdoor, no exceptions. Weather does not matter. Obviously, use common sense. If there's a tornado, don't go out and do it. But you do have to realize that you have to restart then. This program is designed to be inconvenient. If it's cold outside, that's kind of inconvenient. If there's a tornado, that's kind of inconvenient. Sometimes there's circumstances in life that we can't control, and they simply just set us back. If there's a tornado, you know what? That's a setback. You're going to have to restart. Kind of sucks, but that's how life can be at times, right? There's tornadoes per se in life. So then I'm going to go to the nonfiction. I personally, my first time around, chose the Bible because I thought that'd be very important for my faith. It's a book of your choice. The workouts also are of your choice. Choose a workout that you think is going to be beneficial for you. Honestly, if you have to sit there and question whether or not is this a workout or not, it probably is not a good one to choose for you. Would you agree, Nick?
Yes, 100%.
So then I'm going to get into the progress pick. The progress pick does not have to be posted anywhere. Honestly, I would say do it in a fashion that shows like your true body. So like guys, do it in just like shorts or your boxers.
Get down your skivvies.
Yeah, honestly, right? Because you want to see the progress. This is for you simply, not for others to view. Go ahead and share it if you want, like the first pick and the last pick, because you will be different physically as well. When there is mental transformation, there is also going to be physical. But again, mental toughness program, not a physical one. The physical progress will just simply come with it. The next task Nick mentioned was the water, 1 gallon a day. That seems really simple. It's not. Nick, how many times did you sit there and chug like 3/4 of a gallon before going to bed? Because I did that all the time.
Yeah, I did that too many times to count.
Yeah, it's slightly uncomfortable, right? So like he has a roommate, I have a roommate. You will suffer in the middle of the night. You will have to get up and use the bathroom, and that's going to make your roommate suffer too, not going to lie. Like I woke mine up a few times, but you know what? 75 hard, baby. So he also mentioned follow a diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol. Diet is of your choice. Once again, just like the workouts, just like what you're going to read, except it has to be nonfiction. All this is designed for you to choose what you think is best for you. That's the beauty of the program. Anybody can do it. So with that, Nik, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Why do you feel that this program is important?
The reason why I did it to begin with, my sophomore year of college, was because I felt like I wasn't living to my full potential, so something needed to change. And if a program is out there that will help you sharpen your mental game, I'm all in for it. Another reason why I chose this program to begin with was because I felt like I wasn't using my time efficiently. And when Andy talked about this podcast, he said that you will find more time in a day. And that's what I felt like I was missing. And so when I started this program, you have tasks that you need to get done. And so when you have these tasks you need to get done, you're not wasting time in a day. And that leads to more time for other stuff. So I just found that it was super beneficial for me to do because it opened up so much more time throughout my day. So that's basically why I thought this program was super important. And I would love for other people to do it, even just try it. Well, if you're going to try it, you might as well do it. So that's all I have to say, man.
No, I like that. You're just going to try it, might as well do it. That's great. And honestly, the mindset there is because you went through 75 hard, right? Kind of like I said last podcast, when we discussed getting up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., I said 5 a.m. We did 5 a.m. So we are on day 2, correct?
Correct.
You have a progress pick left. I'm essentially done except for cheat meals and alcohol. That's not going to be a problem because I'm done eating and I don't drink right now or really at all. So there we go. That's done. To go along with your efficiency of time and kind of talk about that last podcast when, I was talking about like homework, you waste a lot of time watching Netflix or petting a dog because you're not intentional about that. We're kind of laughing about the petting of the dog because honestly, it kind of seemed inappropriate. Just to be real, like we're gonna leave.
We
that
listen
one
to the
in
podcast in the truck and we're like, that
doesn't sound. Yeah,
it kind of sounded weired.
Yeah, so
I don't know if
you're petting the
it.
dog, like I was literally talking about a dog, right? But so I thought that was funny. But anyway, because you have to get these tasks done, you need to make sure there's time in the day for them to get done. So you have to get everything else done with intention that you already have on your plate. And that intention, honestly, I would say just bleeds in every other task that you're currently accomplishing during the day. Would you agree?
Yes.
So that's where the efficiency comes from. So next question, Nik. How has 75 Hard actually personally affected you as a person?
How 75 Hard has personally affected me was when I had all these tasks to get done, like the no cheat meals and the no alcohol, I had to cut that completely out of my life. And the no cheat meals and no alcohol goes with so many things. When somebody wants to go do something together, a lot of people think like, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. And then with that bite to eat, you're gonna grab a cold one. So that basically I found that cutting, maybe it is some people out of your life that you feel like you're not benefiting anything from hanging out with these people. Like I learned to cut people off that I did not need, not to be brash by any means, but learn to cut people off that you personally will not grow from. And I think that's a huge thing that I learned along the way of, doing this program was just basically doing my own thing and doing what I need to get done. Because if you're hanging out with these people that, have no intention, you're not going to have any intention either. So like I said, I don't want to be brash by any means, but I thought that was huge for me. And ever since then, I've become a better person. I've grown way more than I would have if I would have kept down my same path of life. So that was awesome. I felt like that was just great for me. So Jaret, how has 75 Hard personally impacted you?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to say, I haven't even heard you say all that before. So thank you for sharing that, Nik. So I have very similar experiences, I would say. A lot of it for me was learning self-control. So I'm going to go off first what you said about the people in your life. So one thing I learned through 75 Hard, like Nik said, was learning the people that deserve a spot in your life. So again, that's not meant to be rude or say I'm better than anyone else. But one thing I kind of learned is if someone is not going to bring positivity into my life into some form, they really honestly do not deserve a place in my life. And again, that's going to sound arrogant. It's not. I'm just looking how am I going to personally better myself? Because when it comes down to it, I need to make sure I'm on the path where I need to go in life. When I say bring positivity into my life, that does not mean you have to have your stuff together. I did not have my stuff together. Honestly, I still don't. Nik doesn't either. I think we have it together more than we did before 75 Hard, but you can be a complete mess. But if you're just going to bring positivity into my life in any way, whether that means I learned something or you literally might be a positive person, those are the kind of people I want in my life. But anyway, my main thing that I learned was self-control. As we mentioned last podcast, I was overweight. I struggled with self-control when it came to food. You slap a cookie in front of me, I ate that mother. And you know what? It was good, right? That's why we all do it. But I was finally able to say no to food, or honestly, like, moderate it, right? So today, for example, at work, I almost failed 75 hard today, folks. Nick almost did too yesterday because you made a cappuccino and you almost drank it.
Yep.
So today for me, there was a fudge cookie in front of me. I grabbed it, I bit into it, and for some reason, when that entered my mouth, I'm like, what is going on? This is not on the diet, man. Right? So it was in my mouth and I spit it out. My friend's mom who made that, no offense, it was good. You know, my taste bud tasted it a little bit, but I did not eat any of it. So I almost failed. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I wouldn't have been able to spit that cookie out before. I would have eaten that thing. So at my other job during the summer, we had pizza parties every single Thursday. Once there was a girl out with like steak and chicken, and while that may seem healthy, it was just like slathered in sauce. And for me, it was actually more of just like, you can't have it, Jerit, right? It wasn't even necessarily about the health of like the chicken or the steak at that point. It was just like, no, man, you can't have it. So I learned self-control so well through saying no to food that it now applies to other aspects in my life. And I think food is a tough one for a lot of us. And it's never been a tough one for me, but honestly, alcohol would be for other ones. And that's no judgment there whatsoever. It's just never been my personal thing. But food was my issue. And once I learned to control that, I lost weight. I became honestly a happy person. Again, some of that comes down to you look better, you feel better. There's some truth to that. That was probably my biggest takeaway, man, was just learning self-control. And it was wonderful. So that being said, what are you looking forward to in the future? Before you answer that, I do want to iterate, Nick and I are doing what is called Live Hard this year. And I will cover the rules with that really quick before we get to that last question. The reason I asked that question first is because Live Hard is going to be a part of our future. So what is Live Hard? It consists of 75 hard, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So 75 hard we covered. It's 75 days long. You can start it whenever. There's never a good time to start except for right now. So do it.
So
All right.
Break out your little pen and paper, rewind if you have to, and go listen to the rules and write it down and do it.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
Trust me.
So you do 75 hard, so that's 75 days. And when I say Live Hard, this is a year-long program, by the way. So 75 hard, 75 days. Then there is phase 1. So the deal is, after you complete 75 hard, you can start this right away, or you can take a break. So phase 1 consists of 30 days of the 75 hard tasks, as well as completing 3 critical tasks each day. You define what those are. So honestly, a critical task could be like, I got to get laundry done today. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
This program is all you define what you need to get done. So a lot of this is you need to sit down and be honest with yourself. This is not easy. If you want to see some benefits, you got to be honest. One thing I heard on a podcast earlier was, if you want to learn to get to know yourself, sit down on your bed each night and ask yourself, what is something that I could change in my life that I haven't? If you truthfully answer that, it's probably going to be an answer you don't want. But if you do answer it truthfully and you get after it, your life's going to change. So same thing here. With a workout, have integrity. Like, make it a good workout. So anyway, sorry, back to where we're at. Phase 1, you have your 3 critical tasks each day. Then you take a 5-minute cold shower, not a lukewarm shower, cold shower. And you can take a warm one as well. Like, do what you want, but there's got to be 5 minutes of cold shower in there. And then the third task is spending 10 minutes doing visualization. So that means, like, it could be making a vision board. You want to explain a vision board really quick, Nick?
Yeah, so vision board is basically writing your goals or presenting your goals on a board that you look at every single day. And they're not small goals, like to get an A in a class. They're big goals. That could be a big goal for you, I guess, but big goals. Think big on these guys. Like, picture yourself in a spot where you want to be when you're older, whether it's you want to have, you want to make $1 million a month, whether it's you want to have your private jets, visualize yourself actually there. So it could just be 3 goals. It could be 4 or 5. It could be whatever you want, but take the time, think about your life and work every day and do something every day to try to reach those goals. So pick some big goals, guys.
Well said. So I do also want to iterate that like a lot of these vision board ones would be more so worldly things, honestly. So like you might have a nice car up there, something like that. But it doesn't all have to be monetary either, right? You could have a picture of a family up there. Like that's where I want to be someday. Or you throw a picture of a cross up there. For example, I'm a Christian, so I might throw a picture of a cross up there because I simply want to become a Christian, a better Christian, I should say, have stronger faith every single day. So visualization is a great thing. And these are per se dreams, but call them goals. Rebrand it as a goal because a goal is more real, I would say, than a dream because a dream implies it might not happen. Make it happen. So then we got phase 2. So phase 2, you must wait at least 30 days after completing phase 1 before starting this. And there is a break of 30 days between phase 1 and phase 2 because you have to hold yourself accountable. Just like we said in the last podcast, you have to sharpen your mind all the time. This is taking a break and coming back and sharpening your mind again, right? So that's why there's a break. So the deal is here, phase 2 is 30 days as well, and it is just the 75 hard tasks again. It is not the extra tasks from phase 1. It's just 75 hard again for 30 days. Then phase 3, the final phase, you have your 75 hard tasks. And I should iterate, this phase should be started exactly 30 days prior to the 1-year anniversary of starting 75 hard at the beginning of Live Hard. Now, this is 365 days in a year, right? So 75 hard is 75 days. Then you have 30 days. Let's say you start that after, right? That is now 105 days of the year that you have. Then there's a 30-day break. So now we are at 135 days. And then phase 2 is 30 days. So you have 165 days there. And now there's a lot of time between, say, phase 2 and phase 3 if you start phase 1 right after 75 hard. And that is quite an opportunity to hold yourself accountable, right? So I said 165 days. So, that's 200 days left in the year. So minus your 30 days of phase 3, that means there's 170 days between phase 2 and phase 3, if that is the path you choose with phase 1, starting right after 75 hard. That is a lot of downtime. So you have to hold yourself accountable. Now, I should iterate, if you fail any of these phases, you start back at the beginning of that phase, except for phase 3. If you fail phase 3, you fail Live Hard. Now, to get into the extra tasks of phase 3, because it's 30 days of 75 hard again, the extra tasks now are completing 3 critical tasks, such as in phase 1, 5-minute cold shower, like phase 1, 10 minutes of visualization, and then you need to perform a random act of kindness every single day for 30 days, and then you need to talk to a stranger. And this is not just like, hey, how are you? This is, hey, how are you? Where are you from? What do you do for a living? It is an actual conversation. So Nick and I are going to do that this year. We're going to be doing Live Hard. You pump, man?
Oh, I'm just hearing you talk about it. It's getting my adrenaline going right now.
Yeah, and it's intimidating. Like 75 hard itself is intimidating. I was scared to start. Live Hard is intimidating. Like, you and I were talking. To talk to a stranger, wow. That is like terrifying, honestly. And I like to talk. I just like to go out there and honestly make time to do that. So there we go. We're going to be even more efficient in time. But think of, you're going to make some relationships, but you're going to become just simply so much better at talking to random people.
That's the part I'm excited for.
Oh, yeah.
Just to learn how to talk better. Like I'm not the best talker in the world. I have no experience talking in front of audiences or anything like that. And I would love to learn how to do that. And that's why this podcast is so great for me, was because I got the opportunity to speak in front of a microphone in front of Jerit and put it on the internet. Like, it's tough. It's a lot of work.
It is, but it's really fun at the same time. So I'm not going to cover the tasks of Live Hard again. I'm just going to simply cover the time frame, because you can always rewind it and listen to tasks again. So 75 hard is 75 days. Okay. You're going to start that whenever, because there's never a better time to start than today. Then it is phase 1. You can start doing this immediately after 75 hard. This is 30 days long. Or you can take a little break between 75 hard and phase 1. You could honestly take a 100-day break if you wanted. But all this has to collectively be done in a year, so you would have to time that out. Then phase 2 must start at least 30 days after completing phase 1. Then there is phase 3, and that must start 30 days prior to your 1-year anniversary of starting 75 hard, because your last day of phase 3 will be day 365 if you take the first day of 75 hard as the start to the, per se, calendar year. So there you go. That's Live Hard. We are excited for it.
So if you guys want any more information, or you got lost, or whatever it may be, you guys can go check this out for yourself from the man himself. So if you guys want to head over to Andy Frisella's podcast page on Spotify or Apple, and it's episode, I believe, 208, right, Jerit?
Correct. And the podcast is called Real AF.
Yep. So that's the series he's got going. Great podcast, great speaker. He's accomplished many things in his life. He still is. At this moment we speak, he's probably, who knows what he's doing right now. But
probably prepping another podcast for tomorrow morning. The man, we have been waking up at 5 or 6 a.m. to start 75 hard, like our days. And there's already a podcast like released. And the man might be an hour ahead in time, but like, let's go.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check that out, head on over to his page, and it's episode 208.
So if you have any questions, if you have any critiques for us, if you just want to start a conversation, or you want certain material to be talked about on the show, or honestly, at some point we want to bring guests on, if you have interest in being a guest, let us know at asklifewithgrit@gmail.com. Again, that is asklifewithgrit@gmail.com. So this is available on Spotify. It is available on YouTube. I do want to iterate, at this time that we are recording, we are currently experiencing a bug with Apple, not on our side, but on Apple's side, where it is not currently up on Apple Podcasts. We should be through that bug really quick. It's honestly only with the first podcast episode you upload, right? Like, it won't be a problem after this.
Right. Correct.
So
we did also receive some emails, so we're stoked to see that you guys are actually interested in what we're talking about. Really good questions we got so far. So if you guys want to head over and email us at any time, any topics, anything like that. And then if you guys want to check us out on Instagram, it's life_with_grit. So head on over, follow that page, and then you'll get the latest updates on us. So
if you are listening to this on YouTube because like you couldn't find it on Apple, they will be up there very soon. So with that, I think we're going to close out. Thanks for listening to another episode of Life with Grit, guys. Had a lot of fun recording this, and we're excited to record more. Thanks for providing this opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up.